curious what business owners are doing to double revenue, have more cash flow, work less hours, and provide a better lifestyle for their family? Dive into the world of business growth that leads to guaranteed wealth every Tuesday with your hosts, Dr. Laura Schwalek and Jerry Kazaya. Grow and get answers to your business and investment questions that provide clarity, move you forward, and inspire you to reach your goals. Laura Schwalek, and we have a special guest with us today, John Victoria. Hi, John. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And so tell us a little about your business. You have a digital marketing company.
Sure. Yeah. Quick synopsis on the business. Started about 7 years ago, focused primarily on mastering Google, getting to the top of Google, generating traffic. And so going through that process, we've developed a lot of other skills, building websites, building them to convert, analytics to be able to attribute where your lead's coming from. But really, the goal of our business is how do we help grow the businesses that we work with? And just as a quick example, we worked with HVAC company over the past 4 or 5 years, started about 1 million in revenue, grew to about 10 sold. And one of their primary channels was through SEO and their website. And so just a little bit of what we do is just growing businesses through the internet.
Excellent.
We
Do
love
you only
growing
work with
business, period.
Yeah.
However we get to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you help more than just HVAC, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. But that's where you're
So
most
our
known.
Yeah, I got the podcast. We came out with an Amazon best-selling book, attend a lot of the trade shows. So if you're in HVAC and you're at a trade show, you might have seen our booth or see me around. But yeah, there's just something beautiful about the HVAC trade and the things that they do. Yeah, really, really love the space.
very
How
good.
did you get
Yeah.
started?
It's funny. Prior to this business, I was doing something completely different. I was following in the footsteps of my father, US Navy. Dad was 20, 30 years in the Navy. I had been accepted to the United States Naval Academy, so I was a midshipman there. Going through that process, and my last year, I got an internship to the NSA and was excitedly potentially going to complete my final year. But I caught the entrepreneurial bug when I realized that for the next handful of years of my life, I wouldn't be able to direct it in the way that I wanted to. Decided to get started in business and tried a bunch of things before the digital marketing stint, but I decided that, hey, this is something that I can do really well and matches with my skills. So let's try it out. So it's completely different than what I'm doing now.
Yeah. No kidding.
Wow. Congratulations on your entrepreneurship and thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you.
You bet.
Jerry, you looked like you were going to ask a question there for a while there.
No, I'm going to stay out of trouble today. It's a rare occasion. Enjoy it, folks. I'll just say that right now. Usually I'm in by the time we're done with the podcast, I'm in detention somewhere for something. Mom puts
So
me in
then
timeout often.
I'll ask John a question. So, John, like us, you work with many different types of businesses. And because this is a business growth show, I'd like you to share with us what are some of the problems that you see that business owners have? What keeps them up at night and so that they can relate from where we're coming from?
Yeah, a few problems that I spot. And number one, it's not being clear on where they want to go. They come to me, they say, "Hey, I want to do marketing and I want to do SEO specifically." And you ask like, "Why SEO and why are you looking to grow?" And there's just this vague idea of the vision that they want to build for their life. And so I think big mistake is you don't have a clear vision of where you want to go and the things you want to accomplish. I just noticed that I don't know, there can just be a wandering, like not really clear on where to go and bouncing back and forth. That's number one. Number two is some of the problems we see is that most companies we work with, they've worked with a digital marketing company in the past. And the frustration is that I just feel like I'm throwing my money into this black hole. Like I can't really attribute it a return on investment. I don't really know where things are going. I just hired someone that I could find. Someone called me up or I got this email. I'm doing marketing now. just to check off the box. But it's not strategic, right? Some people who want to do SEO, they probably shouldn't be. They should probably develop their brand out more. Or some people who come to us, they probably should build out a website first. You can't rank on Google if you don't even have a website. I think that's the second
Yeah.
problem we noticed. Just we're doing something, the money's just going into this black hole, and we're doing marketing. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, they're probably not tracking their marketing, so they don't even know what's working and what's not working,
Yes.
and they're flying blind.
Yeah,
Flying
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 blind.
blind.
It's if you're driving a plane and you had a blanket over all of the controls. You're flying,
Oh,
but where are you headed? What's your altitude?
Mhm.
yeah, we see
Mhm.
that all the time, and
Good analogy.
we ask them, "Let's talk about your COGS," and their eyes
Like,
glaze over.
sorry, what? What's
No,
going
what does that mean, COGS? Cost of goods sold. What does
Yeah.
it cost you to make your widget? And they have no idea.
Yes.
Absolutely stunning to me. And I follow up with, "Then how do you know how to price it?"
I was just about to say that. Yep.
If you don't know what your cost is, how in the world do you sell it? You can't buy
Yep.
a watermelon for $2, sell it for $1, and make it up in volume.
No. It's a race to the bottom.
Absolutely. We see it all the time. It's crazy.
Ah,
Crazy, crazy.
yeah.
Excellent. As business coaches, we help people with a similar thing, and that is helping them refine that vision, getting clarity on what it is that they want and why they want it. Because if you don't have a big why for doing something, then actually creating it is empty. It's a really empty thing. And so, with your business, let's see. Do you find that most business owners are actually ready to really ramp up their marketing?
That's a really great question. Depends who I'm speaking to, but a lot of the businesses that are under a million typically are not ready to make the investment in their marketing. I think of these solo contractors or they have a few employees in their business, and a lot of the problems that you all solve with systems and processes, having the right people, that's not there. So even if we did drive the business to them and grew the leads and grew the sales, they wouldn't be able to really take advantage of the opportunity. The ones that we see succeed, they already have a lot of those things in place. So the case study I mentioned earlier, the owners of that company, they had built and sold several companies in the past. And so they already knew what to do. But then when you run into the contractor who maybe he was working as a technician for one of the bigger companies and wants to strike it out on his own, they're
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
good technicians, but they haven't built the business owner skill set just yet. And so they aren't ready to take on that lead flow. And we end up working with them maybe for a little bit, then maybe we stop working together because I can't handle this or I got other things I want to invest in. So
Right.
some of the
Yeah.
problems that we
And
typically
and
see.
in the HVAC business, forgive me, I don't mean to make light of anything, but in the HVAC business, it shouldn't be hard to get to $1 million a year. With
No.
the price of an AC unit today, averaging, I'm going to go out on a limb and go, I think it's about $9,000. So you're talking about just barely 2 units a week,
Yes.
and you're breaking them. Are my numbers right?
No, you're right. And I talked to many of these contractors. It's been sometimes over a decade. And they're like, I can't get past this level. And it's to your
Oh my
point.
God.
It's not really that big of a jump for an HVAC business, but it's because I think they don't have that business those business skills developed to really take it.
One of our clients was an HVAC contractor, and he started with us. He was doing right at 2 million. We got him to just under five in a matter of a year and a half. I think the numbers are still there. I think we still
Yeah.
understand the numbers, and we clearly understand the business as the business model. The truth of it is, you said something very at the very beginning in the conversation. Most people that start the AC business were really great technicians, and we find that honestly in
Yes.
every service business that we've come across. We call it Chuck in the truck or man in the
Yeah.
van. And those guys, great people, wonderful people,
Hmm.
hardworking people that just are really great at their trade, and they don't know anything about running a business. And so, boy, that's something we just love to help people with, is to help them bridge that gap and make the jump from actual technician where they built a company where they really just made a job for themselves and help them to become an owner. It's a
Love that.
beautiful thing when you're able to do that, isn't it?
Yes, such a beautiful thing.
That's where freedom comes in. Now, not everyone wants freedom. Not everyone wants to be wealthy. Not everyone wants to have time off to go on a vacation or the money to do those things. However, when you have employees, when you have systems, that is when you do create your freedom. Why do we hire employees? We hire employees to do either the things that you cannot do
Mhm.
or the things that you no longer want to do. And when you have employees to delegate things to and they follow your systems, that's where your freedom comes in. That's when you can, like Jerry and me, we're only in the office at the auto repair shop 2.5 days a week,
Ma-
sometimes less, depending on how many business coaching clients we have. Keeping in mind that's also the time that we're with our business clients. The rest of the time, we're at the ranch or we're traveling someplace. We're learning other things, doing other things, having fun. Think about it. When was the last time you had fun that was
Mm.
legal, moral, and ethical?
Darn it,
That
you
you
had
could
to put all
share.
those criteria in there, didn't you? What the hell?
It's a
I
high
thought we were gonna have
bar.
a great Okay, and put
So
those in the comments under the show, all the things you do for fun that are legal, oral, moral, and ethical. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, so the truth of it is that the average business owner, they're working not 40 hours a week. They're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week.
Mhm.
And when they get home, does their brain shut off about work? No, they wake up in the middle of the night, they're thinking about, "Gee, should I fire that employee? How am I gonna pay that bill? I have this debt. Should I buy that additional van to take stuff out?" Or these are all the things that the hard part, and this is part of the hard truth for today, is sometimes you need help. And sometimes it's
Mm,
really good to have somebody to ask help of. That's what Jerry and I do, and that's what John does. John is incredible when it comes to marketing, absolutely incredible. Now, it's our job to make sure that your employees and your systems are up to, and your foundation of your business is ready. Like John said, if your business is not doing a million or more, yeah, maybe your business is not ready to do a whole bunch of marketing. That's the best time to reach out to us.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my company was making the assumption that I needed more sales and that I could handle it. Every small business owner that we've ever spoken with and every small business we've ever worked with, they always say the same thing. I need more sales. I need more sales. Sales will fix all my problems. Cash flow will hide a lot of sins. But the truth of it is, the hard truth on this one is if you're just winging it with your company, and I did this, I can tell you for sure. And we came up with the most amazing marketing piece, and the phones were ringing off the walls. Customers were coming in, they were lining up, and I'm going to tell you, there is no worse feeling in the world when a little blue haired old grandmother starts cursing you out in front of a waiting room full of people over an oil service on her car that wasn't performed in a timely manner. We couldn't even do an oil service without screwing it up. And I'm going to tell you, it almost caused my company to close. That's when we pulled the plug on all the marketing and we
Mhm.
sat down and we said, okay, let's take this from a hobby and turn it into a real business. I had to do that or I was going to lose everything. And I said, that's not acceptable to me. What do we need to do? And I hired a mentor, I hired coaches, I hired business strategists, and I said, okay, teach me, help me.
Mhm.
Let's make this thing grow. And that's when it's okay. And now I can leave the company for a month at a time. And when Laura and I just when we just recently spent a month in Bordeaux trying to find red wine that I liked over there, The white wines are amazing. I'm not a huge fan of French red wines, but maybe you can convince me. I'm interested in learning. I got 2 emails from the office and 0 phone calls.
Beautiful.
30 days in Europe, 2 emails, 0 phone calls. At the time, 4 companies.
So,
Now, I'm
John, I
going to
want to
tell
get,
you that is when we've turned it from a hobby into a real business.
yeah,
A huge
thank you.
difference.
Thank you. Awesome. I'm going to take it back to marketing for a moment here. So, in your opinion, John, what do you see are some of the big mistakes that business owners make in relation to their marketing or their SEO? What do you see?
I'd say number one, it's not having the digital plumbing in place, meaning the analytics, tracking, having call tracking numbers for each of the channels, and then tying it up to your CRM. And people will, like I mentioned earlier, just throw all this money into marketing, but they just can't quantify, hey, I put $1,000 into ads, and then they can't point to, hey, these are the leads or these are the customers that this generated for me. This is a
Mhm.
5 times ROI. This is a 10 times. This is a 20 times. It's just complete, we're just doing stuff just to do stuff. And so, number one recommendation to everyone, if you don't have Google Analytics installed, if you don't have call tracking set up, get that, work with your provider or get it set up yourself so that you can see the actual data on your campaigns. Number two, I'd say this is big for contractors and local businesses, is take advantage of your Google My Business profile. I was reading some data, and I actually shared this at an event I put together last week. But when tracking all of the leads and where they came from, website
Mhm.
and their Google My Business profile, 70% of it came from their Google My Business profile. Massive,
Wow. That's
massive.
huge.
And
That's
so
huge.
it's free too, right? It's a free thing you can set up. There's optimizations you can do to it, but at minimum, sign up for it, take advantage of it, respond to reviews, get customer reviews on it, get most recent photos up on there, fill in all your business information. It's 70%. It's crazy how much of the leads come just from that one profile.
Wow, 70%, that's huge. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's like comparing the GMB versus the website. So people are like, oh, the website's great, but no, like the GMB, it's really, if you can leverage it, it's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's where people are looking these days. No one even knows what yellow pages are anymore, right?
Exactly.
Yellow what?
Everyone is they're doing a search. They're searching online. So if you don't have the Google My Business, now, John, is that something that you also would help our people with? Do you have a service that helps to set them up?
Yeah. Set up, rank them, get reviews for them, all of that. Yeah. That's part of what we do. So,
Would you go ahead and give your contact information so that they can get a hold of you and say it twice slowly, okay? So that they can
no
write it
problem.
down.
Yeah, you can visit the website, pollyanna.net. That's POLIANA.net. Again, that's POLIANNA.net. You can go there, you can book a call with me, and you can also give me a text at 703-475-6907. Again, that's 703-475-6907.
Perfect. Thank
How
you.
did the name Pollyanna come to be?
I drew the inspiration from where the Naval Academy was based out of Annapolis. And it's, if you can look at it, it's, I just dropped the S, but the letters are removed around. Originally it was
Oh,
Annapolis, and then converted it to Pollyanna.
Nice.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Excellent. So you can help people with the Google My Business profile, you help them with SEO, you help them to actually do their online marketing. So do you help with things like Facebook ads and YouTube channels? And tell me more about all the things that you do.
Yeah, we do Facebook ads, Google ads, build the website out, also refine messaging on the website. If you're familiar with Story Brand, we're a big believer of the Story Brand. Donald Miller, we had one of his guys on the podcast recently, and just doing a lot of those things to get your message out there. We're targeting ads. If ads are falling around the internet, all those things we can do for businesses.
Beautiful.
And here's the secret sauce. Here's the secret sauce. You automate that for the business owner. Yeah, that should
Exactly.
be like a Yahoo! Yes, we automate it so that you can focus on what it is that you love to do and have John take care of all the automation of your marketing for you. That's a sweet deal. Because remember, why do we hire people? To do the things we can't do, which
Mhm.
often means we don't know how, or we don't have the time to do them or time to learn them, or the things that we don't want to do. Maybe you don't want to set up your Google My Business. Maybe you don't want to learn how to do Facebook ads or all the SEO stuff. I know I don't want to, so I appreciate having somebody do that for me.
Me too.
Jerry, you've been quiet. Do you have any questions for John?
Oh, man, I'm listening. I'm taking notes. It's okay. I'm
Yeah, I'm
learning
taking
stuff
notes
here, man. Are
too.
you kidding? I'm gonna change my Pollyanna. I really like that part. Ah,
Excellent.
that's fun.
So,
Good stuff.
John, I'd like you to give your contact information one more time so everyone can make sure that they got it so they don't have to re-listen. Go ahead.
Sure, it's Pollyanna.net, POLIANA.net. And phone number is 703-475-6907. And what we usually do as well for folks is if you want us to do, we do a complimentary audit of your website and your online presence. And so if you want to reach out, go to the website, book a call. We'd be happy to take a look at what you're doing, what your competitors are doing, and connect up the dots like, hey, this is my revenue goal. How can I do that through marketing? And so we always do that complimentary for anyone who wants to work with us.
Beautiful.
Excellent. So, at the end of every episode, we ask a question. We ask a question of everyone who's listening, and I invite you to put it in the chat box or reach out to us, put it in the comment section, go to our website, bbmusa.com, and fill out the contact information, reach out to us somehow. So, here's your question for today. And this is something that John started with. One of the biggest problems that business owners have is that they don't know what they want. They don't have clarity in what they want. So I want you to take 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, because I know you're busy. I know you're busy. Take 10 minutes and just write down what you want. What do you want your growth to be? How many employees do you want to have? How many hours do you want to be working on your business rather than in your business? What kind of freedom do you want to have? I want you to write these things down and then put them in the comment section so that we know what it is that you want. So, how can we help you? The only way we can help you is to know what it is that you want and what you need help with. And then, if you do need help with marketing, if you feel like you're at that stage, please reach out to John Victoria. He's got a fantastic business, has helped lots, especially in the HVAC world. Just, you know what? A phone call doesn't hurt. You're not gonna lose anything by taking action.
And these days, the phone calls are free. So you don't
Yeah,
even
they're
have to
still
wait
free.
pay long distance. See, that tells you I'm old. I had to pay long distance all the time.
John, is there any last tip or tidbit that you can give regarding marketing that would help somebody move the needle?
It'd be more so with the goal setting. I would just advise everyone to make sure you to set your vision when you are in an empowered state. Because if you feel dejected and the whole world's burning down, then when you set your goals, they probably won't be. It look a lot different than if you feel very empowered and excited about the things. And so that'd just be my only tidbit on the visioning component of it. But with that, if you got the vision, you got the people, the world's your oyster.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you very
Very
much.
good. Thanks
Jerry,
for
any
being here.
last words from you?
No, what I love is when people really know what they're looking for and we help them get to that point. And I'm grateful that we're able to do that. It's one of the first questions I ask everyone. What do you want? If
Mhm.
they don't know what they
Mhm.
want, I cannot help them. You cannot help them. John cannot help them. Doesn't matter. No one can help them until they know what they have to decide what it is that they want.
All
And then
right.
the rest
So,
is magic.
yeah, once again, take 10 minutes. If you have 45 minutes to do this, that's even better. 45 minutes is really the magic number. Set a timer, shut off your all distractions, and write down what it is that you want. Just what you want. Not what your neighbor wants, not what your parents thought that they wanted for you, your kids, your spouse. What do you want inside you? and then reach out to us and we'll help you achieve those goals. All right. Thanks for listening. See you next Tuesday.
Bye,
Bye for
everybody.
now.
Hey, everyone.
Be safe.
Grow and get answers to your business and investment questions that provide clarity, move you forward, and inspire you to reach your goals. Share the show and connect with us at bbmmusa.com to submit questions and learn more. That's bbmmusa.com.